Arsenal are back in the title race. Liverpool draw 3-3 at St James's Park. Chelsea smash Southampton 5-1. And Arsenal, with all of this going on, as well as Manchester City winning, and yes, I am wearing a retro Madrid jacket, if anyone's saying. I got it out in Orlando. Arsenal have gone out there tonight. Two brilliant set pieces and won the game 2-0. If you're new to the channel, please do go down, drop a like if you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. And make sure you have subscribed to the channel. We are less than 400 away, I think, from 32,000. So let me know your thoughts down below on the Chelsea game, on Liverpool completely falling apart at the end, on Manchester City, and of course, Arsenal. So, I think they're back in the title race. And I've said this while I was in Orlando in one of my kind of midweek videos that I feel Arsenal are the team out there to catch Liverpool. Liverpool have been on an unbelievable run of games. They have destroyed everything in their path. They should have won tonight, being, 3-2 up and around the 83rd minute. I think it was Mo Salah's 26th goal contribution this season, which is nuts. But Arsenal went out there. They had a job to do while Manchester City, Liverpool and Chelsea and everyone else was playing. The whole world was watching. And Arsenal have gone out there, kept a clean sheet, got 3 points, scored twice, and are currently sitting just below Chelsea on goal difference in the Premier League. Now, there's a lot of conversations about Enzo Maresca kind of playing down Chelsea being in a title race, but 100% I think we can all confirm that Arsenal are in the race. And I said, and I stand by it, that I think Arsenal are the side out there that will and potentially can catch Liverpool. They're both Arsenal and Chelsea are 2 points above Manchester City. They played relatively well tonight. An interesting first half. No Gabriel, no problem. They still scored from a corner, 2 set-piece goals. And let's be honest, it was an Arsenal side that, no Gabriel, no Kivior, Zinchenko come into the lineup. Kivior come into the lineup, and yet they still got another clean sheet. This was the lineup they played. David Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Zinchenko. Odegaard, they look so much better with him back in the side. He leads the press. He essentially makes them tick. He is one of the best number 10s in the Premier League right now and in world football. Everything goes through him. Thomas Partey, who, of course, set up Saliba's goal. Declan Rice, who I think had a pretty good game as well. Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, and, of course, Kai Havertz. And Man United, this traditional kind of 3-4-2-1 lineup. Onana, a back three of Mazraoui, Maguire, and De Ligt. And I think when Lenny Yoro is fully fit, he will come into this back three. Dalot, Malacia, Mason Mount and Garnacho. Mason Mount's first game in, I can't remember the last time I actually saw him play a game of football. But it was a very, very, I don't want to say not a game of chess sort of football match, but it's no disrespect to Manchester United, but there was only one winner in this game, right? You look at the match stats, 14 shots to 5, 6 shots on target to 2. Man United had a lot of possession in the first half. I can't remember which Man United player had a decent chance. I don't want to say Dalot. It was around the 30th minute. Not a huge amount of action in the first half. Like I said, Man United had a lot of the ball. It was kind of cagey. A bit of a, I don't want to say it was a cautious Arsenal performance, but it was goalless at halftime. Not, I think it was Mason Mount who sliced it wide early on. Arsenal had a good chance from a corner. Thomas Partey kind of headed it, down into the ground, wide of Onana's post. Timber had a good chance as well, but there wasn't a huge amount. The second half, though, Arsenal took complete control of this game and I think were deserving winners. I don't really think anyone can come out and dispute that. And everyone's, criticised and said, oh, you're Stoke FC, come out and said that you're Burnley or whatever you want to, say to discredit their amount of goals they've got from corners. But if it was that easy, why is everyone in the league not scoring the amount of goals that Arsenal score from corners or set pieces? Another two today. Gabriel scored a header against Sporting. I think they scored from a set piece against Forest. And of course, they scored from a set piece, Gabriel, again against West Ham in the 5-2 win. And that's now 15 goals in the last 4 games from Arsenal. And it almost feels like, part last season when they had this week out in Dubai and they come back and started putting everyone to the sword and blitzing teams left, right, and centre. It almost kind of feels like that a little bit again. If we're being brutally honest, it's a good win for Arsenal. They've got winnable games coming up. I don't think they leave London until they play Brighton, which is in January. The first goal comes from, Odegaard feeds Martinelli on the edge. I think De Ligt made a decent block. Arsenal get a corner, which is swung to the near post by Declan Rice. And there is Timber, who rises high enough to make it 1-0. It doesn't matter if it's Gabriel, whether it's Saliba, whether it's Timber, whether it's Havertz. They are so good in the air. They've got so many aerially dominant players. Man United brought on Xerxes and Marcus Rashford. I don't think that they absolutely destroyed Man United, but I do think they like I said, they were deserving winners. And of course, that David Raya made a great save from De Ligt. Arsenal brought on Trossard, Marino. Partey puts a ball into the box, and there is Saliba, who puts it into the back of the net. And like I said, I don't think it was Arsenal's best performance of the season by any stretch of the imagination. However, they are 7 points away now. The gap has dropped from 9 to 7. I brought out my Chelsea match reaction about an hour ago, and I was saying, are they now in a title race? That's going to be an interesting debate from obviously the Chelsea fan base, and they probably will try to play it down a little bit, but Arsenal are 100% in the race. They've won 3 on the bounce. They've scored 5 against Sporting, 5 against West Ham, 3 against Nottingham Forest, 2 again tonight. That's clean sheets against Forest and Man United in their last 4 games. And you look at the run of games they've got coming up, I do think Arsenal will go on a run now. I think Everton coming up, Fulham coming up. I'm gonna put my prediction out there that Arsenal will win their next 8 Premier League games. The next 8 games on here. I think they go down to Craven Cottage and beat Fulham. Of course, Fulham play tomorrow night as well, so Arsenal have 1 day's extra rest. I think they will beat Monaco at home. I think Everton at the moment, I think they won 4-0 tonight, but I just don't think they've got enough quality in there to go out and hurt Arsenal. And then they play Crystal Palace in the League Cup. This is Arsenal's best opportunity to go out and win silverware in a long, long time. Liverpool, Man United have got Spurs. Liverpool have got Southampton. It could be an Arsenal-Liverpool final. Who knows? Then they play Crystal Palace again, Ipswich, Brentford, and Brighton. I'm going to be honest. They win 8 out of 8 here. And if they do that, that would be 12 wins on the bounce. Only playing one of the big 6 as well. So you get to January after the Brighton game, and it's a completely different kettle of fish because you play Man United. You play, of course, we come to the Emirates in Spurs. You got Aston Villa, But I think it kind of feels like Arsenal will go on a run of games now. They're knowing when to blitz teams like Sporting and West Ham. They're knowing when to have a. And let's be honest, if Gabriel was on the pitch tonight, they might have had 2 or 3 more other goals. But I do think Arsenal are gaining confidence if they can keep winning games. And who knows if Liverpool go out there and for whatever reason drop points. We'll look at their fixtures shortly. But if they go out there and drop points as well, and Arsenal, pick up a couple of wins, all of a sudden the gap goes from 9 to 4 or 5. They've got some interesting games coming up, Liverpool. I do think they will be favourites and win a lot of the games, but they do play Spurs in their next 5 games. Now, we are a very interesting team because you never really know what sort of Tottenham team's going to go and turn up. If it's the Tottenham team that beat Aston Villa and Manchester City, we might beat Liverpool. But the Merseyside derby, the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, I do think Liverpool win, but I don't necessarily think it'd be straightforward. And they've got Spurs, Girona. I think they'll heavily rotate because they're in such a good position in the Champions League. But look, You know, they have also got some other tough games in there. They've got Man United coming up. They've got Forest away, who have already beaten Liverpool this season, and Tottenham away, where they lost last year. So look, it's going to be a very, very interesting remainder of the title race. We are in the festival period where football is coming, you know, thick and fast. Of course, we play tomorrow against Bournemouth away, which is going to be a tough game. I'm not going to lie. I am not looking forward to it because I just know how Tottenham can be at times. We are so inconsistent. But let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Arsenal are back in the title race? The points gap has gone from 9 to 7. And look, it wouldn't surprise me if we're sitting here in a month or so and the gap's now down to 4 points. And then all of a sudden, we're in a situation where we're talking about one win could change absolutely everything. But do let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel, and I will see you all soon. Thank you for watching. I am